Pierre François Joseph Durutte joined the French army at the beginning of the French Revolutionary Wars, rapidly promoted for feats of bravery under fire at Jemappes in 1792 and Hondschoote in 1793. He found himself appointed to serve as a staff officer. He distinguished himself during the Anglo-Russian invasion of Holland in 1799 and received promotion to general officer. During the successful 1800 campaign he fought in Jean Victor Marie Moreau's army. Promoted again in 1803, his career then stalled because of his association with the banished Moreau and his unwillingness to see Napoleon Bonaparte as emperor. After several years of garrison duty, Durutte was sent to a combat command in Italy in 1809. During the War of the Fifth Coalition he led his division in action at the Pier of Tavis, St. Michael, Rob, and Wagram. He led a division in Russia in 1812 and managed to bring the unit back to Western Germany intact. He fought in the War of the Sixth Coalition in 1813, defended Metz in 1814, and led a division at Waterloo in 1815. Durutte is one of the names inscribed under the Arc de Triomphe Revolution. Born into a well-to-do merchant family on 13 July 1767 in Douai, he obtained an excellent education as a youth. He enlisted in the 3rd Nord Volunteer Battalion in 1792 after the outbreak of the French Revolution. He fought at the Battle of Jemappes on 6 November 1792, was appointed lieutenant, for notable courage in the storming of a Dutch fort at Klundert from 1 to 4 March 1793. Durutte became a captain. He was offered the rank of adjutant general but hesitated to accept because he felt that he did not merit the promotion. During the Battle of Hondschoote on 6 to 8 September 1793, he served as the chief of staff to one of the divisions. He was later chief of staff to Jean Michel d'Arcon. In 1795 he became chief of staff to Jean Victor Marie Moreau, who commanded the Army of the North. He later served under Joseph Durutte in Holland. On 19 September 1799, he led the advance guard in Herman Willem Dandel's division at the Battle of Bergen. For his battlefield exploits, he became a general of brigade on 26 September 1799. He also fought in Guillaume Marie and Brown's victory at the Battle of Castricum on 6 October. Again serving under Moreau, he participated in the Battle of Mesquerch on 5 May 1800 and the Battle of Biberach 4 days later. On 3 December at the Battle of Hohenlinden, he led a brigade in Charles Mathieu Isidore Dequin's division. Led by Durutte, Dequin's troops arrived on the field late in the morning, but they quickly pitched into the fighting and drove back the Austrians of Johann Sigismund Riesch's left column. After the peace, he assumed command of the Department of Lys. Early Empire. On 27 August 1803, Durutte received promotion to General of Division in spite of Napoleon Bonaparte's dislike of officers from Moreau's army. He became a member of the Legion d'Honneur on the 11th of December 1803 and a commander of the Legion on the 9th of June 1804. His former relationship with Moreau, who was exiled from France, then caused trouble. When asked to put his signature on a document agreeing with Napoleon's appointment as Emperor of France, Durutte remained true to his republican beliefs and refused to sign. When his officers also offered to join him in defiance, he dissuaded them so the careers would not be ruined. After this incident, apparently no one wanted to have anything to do with him except Marshal Louis Nicolas Davout, who gave him command of the island of Elba. He remained in this isolated post for 3 years. His fortunes improved in 1809 when he was given command of a combat division in Italy under Eugene de Beauharnais. His troops included the 3rd and 4th Battalions of the 22nd Light Infantry Regiment, 4 battalions each of the 23rd and 62nd Line Infantry Regiments, and a foot artillery company consisting of 4 6-pound cannons and 2 6-inch howitzers. He missed the Battle of Sassal in mid-April. After the Battle of Caldiero at the end of April, Eugene launched a pursuit of Archduke John's retreating army. While the rest of his troops chased John, Eugene directed Durutte on a southerly route to first relieve the siege of Venice and then to rejoin the main army on the Piave River. On the 8th of May 1809, Durutte's division was present at the Battle of Piave River as part of Paul Grenier's corps. Instead of 4 battalions of the 62nd, his division's order of battle included 2 battalions each of the 60th and 62nd Line Infantry Regiments. During the battle, the river rose dramatically and only half of his division was able to get into the fighting, where they fought in the center under Jacques MacDonald. On the 17th of May, Durutte led his division at the Battle of Tavis. That morning his troops stormed the Malbourg Ghetto fort from the west while Michel Marie Pactard's division attacked from the east. Both divisions were under the direction of Grenier. After a brief but heroic resistance, the fort's defenders were overrun. Later that day, Durutte's soldiers moved east to Tarvisio to confront Albert Gayule's entrenched troops, while Eugene sent Achille Fontenelle's Italians to turn the Austrian flank. Grenier's 2 divisions mounted a frontal assault. Gayule's men fled after suffering heavy losses. Durutte fought in the Battle of St. Michael on the 25th of May, when French scouts detected Franz Jellachic's Austrian division moving across his front. Eugene ordered Grenier to intercept it with the troops at hand. Grenier's 1st Division under Jean-Mathieu Zeres arrived at St. Michael around 10 a.m. and mounted an attack, pinning Jelachic in position. When Durutte arrived after a forced march, he put François Valentin's brigade in the 2nd line, Joseph Marie Count d'Essex's brigade in reserve, and 2 battalions of the 62nd Regiment on the south bank of the Mer River to envelop Jellachic's left flank. Zeres' 2 brigades were told off to attack the Austrian right flank and center. In the face of this concentric attack, Jellachic's force collapsed with very heavy losses. On the 14th of June 1809, Durutte led his division in the Battle of Raab. The 1st Brigade comprised 1 battalion of the 22nd Light, 4 battalions of the 23rd Line, and 3 battalions of the 60th Line Infantry Regiments. The 2nd Brigade had 3 battalions each of the 62nd and 103rd Line Infantry Regiments, 4 squadrons of the 6th Chasseurs à Cheval and 6 6-pound guns were attached. Archduke John deployed his army behind a stream, with a strong point in the center at the Kismagar farm. Eugene sent forward 2 infantry divisions, with Zeres on the right and Durutte on the left. Arranged in 2 lines of battalion columns, the divisions advanced in echelon, with Zeres leading. For the first, rough terrain caused problems and Durutte's division struck the Austrian line first. Zeres finally got into action but proved unable to seize Kismagar. Eugene put in Philippe Eustache-Louis Savaroli's division on Durutte's left to keep the attack rolling. At this time an Austrian counterattack broke Durutte's division and the first line of Savarolis. Eugene helped rally Durutte's men while sending in Pactard's division as reinforcements. By this time Emmanuel Grouchy's cavalry had overwhelmed John's left flank and Kismagar had fallen, causing John to order a withdrawal. On the first day of the Battle of Wagram, the 5th of July 1809, Durutte's division participated in the unsuccessful evening attack on the Rossbach line and was routed along with the rest of Eugene's attacking force. On the second day, MacDonald assaulted the Austrian centre with 3 divisions. When this attack stalled, Napoleon ordered Eugene to send in his last 2 divisions. Accordingly, Pactod was committed on MacDonald's right, while Durutte was committed on his left, where he engaged the Austrians of Johann Collerat's 3 Army Corps. Durutte's men overcame the opposition and captured the village of Brightonley. For his efforts at Wagram, he was honoured with the Order of the Iron Crown on the 17th of July 1809. He was appointed Baron of the Empire on the 15th of August 1809. Later Empire. After serving a few months as military governor of Amsterdam, Durutte was appointed as commander of the 31st Military Division and settled in Groningen. He took command of the 32nd Infantry Division in Marshal Pierre Augereau's 11th Corps in November 1812 and settled in Berlin and Warsaw. Detached to Jean Renier's 7th Saxon Corps, his troops fought against Fabian Gottlieb von Osten-Sacken's Russians at the Battle of Wojkowisk from 14 to the 16th of November. During the battle, his division repelled repeated enemy attacks on the Wojkowisk Bridge. After hearing of the destruction of the Grande Armée Qt, Durutte withdrew to Kalisz in the Duchy of Warsaw, where he fended off a pursuing column of Russians. Later he fell back to Glogau in the Kingdom of Prussia, and from there he brought his division back to Jena, where he joined Eugene with 3,000 veterans on the 1st of April 1813. Still in Renier's 7th Corps, Durutte led the 32nd Division at the Battle of Bautzen on 20 and 21 May 1813. He fought at the Battle of Gross-Beeren on the 23rd of August. On this occasion, his division was made up of the 3rd and 4th Battalions of the 131st, 132nd, and 133rd Line Infantry Regiments, the 1st Battalion of the 35th Light Infantry Regiment, the 4th Battalion of the 36th Light Infantry Regiment, and the 2nd and 3rd Battalions of the Wurzburg Infantry Regiment. He led his troops at the Battle of Dennewitz on the 6th of September. At the battle, Marie-Jean-Baptiste Urbain de Vaux's brigade included the 35th Light, 131st Line, and 132nd Line Infantry Regiments. Antoine and Nathalie Gédéon-Jarry's brigade consisted of 36th Light, 133rd Line, and Wurzburg Infantry Regiments. He fought at the Battle of Leipzig from 16 to the 19th of October. The organization of the 32nd Division was similar to the earlier battles, except that each regiment had only one battalion. During the retreat to France, Durutte led his troops in a clash at Freiburg on the 21st of October. He fought at the Battle of Hanau on 30 and the 31st of October under Marshal August Marmont's command. In 1814 he was given command of the fortress of Metz, which resisted a blockade until the end of the war. At one point, Napoleon heard a rumor that Metz had fallen. He asked an aide-de-camp who commanded the garrison. When told it was Durutte, he replied, "I have never done anything good for that man. Metz is still ours." Upon the return of King Louis XVIII, Durutte recognized the new sovereign and was given command of the 3rd Division and made a Chevalier of the Order of St. Louis on the 27th of June. He was made a Grand Officer of the Legion d'Honneur on the 23rd of August and received a gold sword from the Mayor of Metz. During the 100 Days Durutte rallied to Napoleon. He was assigned to command the 4th Division of Jean-Baptiste Drouet, Comte d'Erlon's 1st Corps. Under his command were 8 battalions of the 8th, 29th, 85th, and 95th Line Infantry Regiments. The 8th and 29th were commanded by Jean Gordon's Claude Pégot, while the 85th and 95th were led by Jean-Louis Brou. On the 16th of June 1815, his corps commander Delaune received received conflicting orders from his wing commander Marshal Michel Ney and one of Napoleon's aides, Charles de la Bédoyère. After following de la Bédoyère's order to march to Ligny, he then received Ney's order of recall. Having arrived near the field where the Battle of Ligny was raging, Dillon decided to detach Durutte's division and Charles-Claude Jacquinot's cavalry. As Dillon returned to Ney's wing with his other 3 infantry divisions, his only instruction to Durutte was to be prudent. Jacquinot cleared the road of Prussian cavalry, but Durutte stopped at the village of Wagner-Laye. Even as it became clear that the Prussians were retreating, Brigadier Bru, frustrated by his superiors' inaction, insubordinately demanded that the division advance. But Durutte, overwhelmed by his responsibility, refused to budge on a great opportunity passed, one of several mischances for the French that day. As it happened, Dillon arrived too late to assist Ney in the Battle of Quatre Bras. At the Battle of Waterloo on the 18th of June 1815, the 4th Division was posted on the extreme right flank of the army. Opposite Durutte's division were 3,400 Nassau infantry from the brigade of Prince Bernhard of Saxe-Weimar. These troops occupied, from Durutte's right to left, Château Frischemont, the hamlet of Smohain, Ruffey Farm, and Papelart Farm. Durutte sent the 2nd Brigade to attack these positions, supported 3 horse artillery batteries, 2 from Edouard Jean-Baptiste Milhaud's 4th Cavalry Corps and 1 belonging to Jacquinot's division. Meanwhile, his 2,100-man 1st Brigade advanced in column of divisions by battalion. This meant that the brigade's 4 battalions were each deployed in a 3-deep line, one behind the other in a mass 200 yards wide and 12 ranks deep. The 1st Brigade linked with the 3rd Division of Pierre-Louis Binet de Marcognet on Durutte's left flank. As Marcognet's division crested the ridge, the 2nd Scots Greys Dragoons ploughed into it and routed it. Emerging on the far side of Marcognet's shattered division, the Greys spotted Durutte's 1st Brigade and galloped toward it. The French closed ranks and the sides faced outward to receive cavalry. Coming on in dispersed order, the Greys were thoroughly repulsed and many saddles were empty. Soon after, a far unengaged squadron of the 1st Royal Dragoons attacked the brigade as a disciplined body and smashed into its left flank, which was only 12 ranks deep. This time the brigade collapsed in panic as the troops fled in every direction and numbers of them surrendered. Meanwhile, Durutte supervised the attack of his 1,700-man 2nd Brigade on the extreme right. About 1:30 p.m., he sent his troops into the little valley in front of Papelart and La Haye, covered by 18 horse artillery pieces and Jacquinot's cavalry. The original skirmish line recoiled before enemy fire and Durutte quickly reinforced it with battalions in open order. He also sent a horse battery to take Smohain under point-blank fire. 2 battalions soon overran Papelart and victory seemed to be at hand. At this moment, Durutte rode back to the ridge and found to his dismay that the 1st Brigade was crushed and the ground to his left covered with rampaging British cavalry. With the Dutch-Belgian Cavalry Brigade of Charles Etienne de Gagny advancing downhill toward them, he had the men of the 2nd Brigade execute a hasty retreat covered by one of Jacquinot's regiments. The brigade was able to withdraw behind a battalion square from the 6th Corps. These troops drove off Gagny's light horsemen with the help of a nearby artillery battery. As the Prussian attack against the 6th Corps gained momentum, Georges Mouton, Comte de Lobau, ordered Durutte to capture the Smohain area. Accordingly, the embattled 4th Division commander attacked Smohain with the 2nd Brigade and his artillery, while sending the 2.5 battalions that remained of the 1st Brigade against Papelart. The French infantry overran the farm and immediately began to fortify it. At the close of the day, Karl Friedrich Franziskus von Steinmetz's brigade of Hans Ernst Karl, Graf von Zieten's 1st Prussian Corps arrived at Smoheim with 2,500 fresh infantry, followed by 3,300 cavalry. Attacking, they overcame the survivors of Durutte's division and burst through the angle of Napoleon's battle line. In the rout that followed, Durutte was chased by Prussian horsemen, receiving one saber slash that nearly cut off his left hand and a second blow that inflicted a severe head wound. After Waterloo, he retired to a property he owned near Ypres in what is now Belgium. He died there on the 18th of April 1827 after a prolonged illness.